welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a really fascinating question. When it comes to success, what actually matters more? Is it raw intelligence, or is it the power to grab and hold someone's attention? So let's dive right in, because honestly, the answer isn't as simple as you might think, and it really tells us a ton about the world we're living in right now. Okay, first up, we need to get a handle on the roles these two powerful traits really play. You know, they're not really competitors. They're more like two totally different forces that shape how things turn out. I mean, think about it. We're drowning in information, right? So in that kind of world, attention is everything. It's the gatekeeper. It is the absolute first step. If you can't get it, even the most brilliant world-changing ideas, they just go unnoticed. They just die on the vine. So yeah, don't think of them as rivals. It's more like they're two sides of the same coin. Attention is the currency that gets you on stage, the spotlight that makes people look up. But intelligence, that's the substance, the strategy that keeps the audience from just getting bored and walking out. And make no mistake, we are living deep inside this attention economy. I mean, every single app on your phone, every brand you see, every creator you follow, they are all in this constant, fierce battle for just a tiny little slice of your focus, of your mental real estate. And that's really the key takeaway here, right? One without the other is just, it's incomplete. A brilliant strategy with no one paying attention, totally useless. And all the attention in the world with no intelligent plan behind it, well, that's just a recipe for a spectacular flameout. Okay, so to really get this, let's use a powerful analogy. Think of trying to find success as like a high-stakes game of chess. Now, any chess player will tell you, controlling the center of the board is a huge strategic advantage. It gives you influence, it gives you flexibility, and way more options to launch an attack, all while limiting what your opponent can do. So, this is the 1-2 punch. Gaining attention, that's your opening move. It puts you in that power position. But, and this is the important part, it's intelligence, your strategy, your creativity that lets you make the winning moves from there. See, it's not enough to just be seen. You have to know what to do once all those eyes are on you. So that naturally makes you wonder, right? What happens when someone has one of these skills but not the other? This isn't some new phenomenon, and if you look back, you see some really fascinating and sometimes kind of tragic stories. And this pattern just repeats itself throughout history. You have these forgotten geniuses, like Nikola Tesla. I mean, a mind of staggering brilliance. But he always prioritized the science over the PR. And then on the other side, you have these savvy operators, like Thomas Edison. He wasn't just a brilliant inventor. He was a master of self-promotion. And that's how he made sure his work got out there and stayed out there. And this is exactly where the whole one-hit wonder thing comes from. They have that one moment of intense, maybe viral attention, but they just don't have the intelligent strategy to back it up. They can't maintain consistency, they don't network, they don't evolve. So without that substance, the spotlight just moves on, and they fade away. Which brings us to a pretty controversial idea. The thinking here is that any visibility, even if it's negative, at least puts you on the map. You can leverage it, you can pivot from it, because in this attention economy, the absolute worst thing that can happen to you isn't getting criticized. It's being completely and totally ignored. But look, this high-stakes game of attention, it's not new. Not at all. In fact, the whole art and science of managing it was professionalized over a century ago by some really fascinating characters who basically laid the groundwork for the world we live in right now. And the evolution here was just dramatic. You start with the pure spectacle and, let's be honest, sensationalism of someone like P.T. Barnum. Then you move to Ivy Lee, who's trying to professionalize the whole thing with facts. And then you get Edward Bernays, who basically turns it into a science of mass persuasion. And right there, with those two, this fundamental ethical split just cracks wide open. On one side, you've got Ivy Lee, arguing for using truth and transparency. On the other side, you have Edward Bernays, who, by the way, was Sigmund Freud's nephew, which tells you a lot. And he argued for using psychology to actively shape and, manipulate what the public wants. Okay, so let's bring all this back home. How does this century-old battle apply to us right now as we're trying to navigate this world of just endless digital noise and super sophisticated persuasion techniques? Well, the modern fight for our attention is it's absolutely loaded with ethical landmines. As consumers, consumers of information, we have to be more critical than we've ever been. We have to question the sources, the motivations behind every single message that's fighting for our focus. And here's the crucial point. Those persuasive tools that guys like Bernays pioneered, they're now supercharged by technology. We're talking about deepfakes that can create false realities, astroturfing that manufactures fake grassroots support, and disinformation that can spread across the globe in a heartbeat. It's eroding the very idea of a shared truth. And that leaves us with this final, really critical question. Once you understand this whole dynamic, the history, the strategies, the ethics of it all, you're empowered. You can make a conscious choice about where you invest your single most valuable resource, your own focus.